I'm John Hinkle, Senior Pastor of First Presbyterian Church here on the corner of College and Spring in downtown Murfreesboro. This is your Saturday morning preview of Sunday morning sermon, which I'm doing on Friday. I would love to tell you I have finished my sermon, but I have not. I am still working on it. So you can, if you get this, say a prayer that I did finish it, but I kind of know where I'm going and why I'm going there. And so this Sunday is the first Sunday of Advent. And it's a weird, Advent's so weird this year. Again, sometimes the liturgical calendar looks like astronomy. You just get like, why did they do it this way? But this year, the liturgical calendar, there's still 4 Sundays in Advent. But in this rare moment, the fourth Sunday of Advent is also Christmas Eve. So for us here at the church, it feels like we've lost a week. In your homes, that may not feel like that's necessarily the case. I thought about that last night as I was sitting down, and our house is completely decorated, which seems so weird to have your house completely decorated before the first Sunday of Advent. But I feel like, man, I'm ahead of the game at home. But here at the church, I'm running around trying to get everything done, especially when it comes to everything associated with Advent, including preaching on this Sunday. So this Sunday, we begin a 4-part series where we are going to listen to the voices that make us aware that something special is happening. We're going to listen to the voice of the prophet. We're going to listen to the voice of the baptizer. We're going to listen to the voice of the angels. And we're going to listen to the voice of Mary. And this Sunday, we're going to listen to the voice of the prophet. If you read the Old Testament, and there's a lot in the Old Testament, there is always this hint of a messianic time for the people of Israel. That they are always looking and longing for their Messiah. And so often that Messiah is a lowercase m, not the big M. For us, Jesus is our Messiah, meaning one and for all, Messiah, big M. But Messiah simply means one called by God to deliver God's people. So technically, we're all called to be messiahs, meaning that we're all called to help deliver God's people out of troubled waters, to move along with God's people, to point them to a better direction, right? So there's always this hint that all of us play a role of what it means to be a Messiah. As a matter of fact, when the Jews were in exile in Babylon, the prophet called the leader of the Babylonians, Cyrus of Persia, a Messiah. Why? Because he was God's chosen to deliver God's people out of the land of exile in Babylon. But make no mistake, that was Messiah small m. But there are moments when, especially the prophets, talk about Messiah, capital M. The one who will right all the wrongs and reestablish God's kingdom here on this earth. And we get that especially from the prophet Isaiah. Now the chapter that we often hear, in fact, we're going to use it this year in our call to worship. It's chapter 9, and you're familiar with chapter 9. The people walking in darkness have seen a great light. That's how chapter 9 starts, and we're going to use that as our call to worship. But there is another messianic prophecy in the book of Isaiah, and it comes to us from chapter 11. In the first verse, a shoot, meaning a tree shoot, a flower shoot. That's what a shoot is. A shoot will come out of the stump of Jesse. And I love that imagery, right? A shoot will come out of the stump of Jesse, meaning the stump. The stump is dead, right? I have a couple of tree stumps that I wish the people who owned my house had gotten rid of before I got it. But there's nothing coming out of that stump. It's dead. But here Isaiah said, out of something that is dead, the stump will come new life. And that's kind of the image we're going to talk about this Sunday, right? I mean, today, on Friday, it's a kind of a miserable day outside. It's cold and rainy and just, it's not very inviting. But the hope of Advent is out of even that, even out of something like a stump, we believe God can do great things and bring new life into this world. So yes, my sermon will be done by tomorrow. I look forward to being with you as we start this journey of Advent together.